underline that there's still a problem that he needs to solve, which again, as we've heard from Raila Amolo Odinga, that there are claims within the Azimio coalition that the Kenya Kwanza members of parliament who are essentially frustrating the talks that are ongoing at the Bomas of Kenya. 1 year down the line, has it taken too long to solve it?
Allow me to answer you in a very not usual way, because sometimes my mind allows me to think very differently. There are two things that God has given to Kenyans for free. One of them, God gave us our bodies for free. You know, we didn't pay anything for them. Then God gave us Kenya for free. Now, there are some Kenyans who once they grew up, they decided that they can sell their body for a living, and they became what you call a commercial sex worker. Now, that person has been described by other Kenyans as a very horrible person, because they sell their body to get a few coins to buy unga and mchele for the night, and maybe sugar for tomorrow morning. And then they can wash their body and sell it to another customer tomorrow morning. Now, there is an even worse person. If you think that a commercial sex worker is a bad person, there is a worse person who is called a voter. Some voters, not all. Because now those ones have sold the nation to politicians. So if you're a Kenyan out there and you ever queued in a place and took 200 shillings from a politician so that you can vote in another way, in a different way, or for that politician, you are worse than a commercial sex worker. Because a commercial sex worker is better than you in the sense that they sell their body for that one night. And tomorrow they can wash it and sell it again. You sell your country at 200 shillings for a whole 5 years, and you have to wait for 5 years again to use your vote again for another 200 shillings. If you divide these 200 shillings by 5 years, it's not even 5 cents. Kama unakumbuka ndururu ilikuwa nini. The reason we are probably where we are is because there are people who woke up and decided that they are going to sell this nation, a God-given, freely given nation, to a politician at 200 shillings. And now they are wondering why the nation has a problem. Let me explain to you something. That commercial sex worker is probably even better than some of our voters, because the commercial sex worker has a limit. They can tell you, we utoshi mboga, aufiki bei, and they will leave you. They will not sell their body for a certain amount of money. Now, when you saw what was happening during the campaigns, they hear a governor is campaigning somewhere, they go pick 1,000 shillings. Then they hear there's a senator, they pick 500 shillings. Then they hear there's an MCA, they pick 50. They even sold this nation for 50 shillings. And then they are wondering what is wrong with their ward, what is wrong with their MP seat, what is wrong with their governor, what is wrong all the way up. If any of you queued somewhere and took any money, the difference between you and commercial sex worker is not there. In fact, I keep saying a commercial sex worker is better than you. Because the commercial sex worker had dignity. When they take money from one person, they serve that person for the night and wait until morning. But voters would take 1,000 here and run to the next meeting and take money. So concurrently, they took so much money from so many people, they don't even know who they took money from. And then they voted. And then those people are taking this nation in all the wrong directions, and then they are wondering what is wrong. From the ward, you are messed up. At the MP level, you are messed up. The governor, you don't even remember how much he gave you, but because he gave you money, you voted for them. And then you are here complaining that the country is in a problem. The biggest difference between some of the commercial sex workers and some of the voters, not all, and some of the voters, is not there. In fact, I keep saying the commercial sex worker only sold their body, but the voter sold the country plus what their generation is supposed to benefit from. So this nation, these are people who have sold even the inheritance of their children to a person who comes and loots everything within CDF, and then you wonder why we are queuing and looking for bursaries. I will tell you,
yes.
Now, if some of the politicians we have now at Bomas are products of these voters who voted in, are products of voters who queued to pick 200 shillings, 100, hata 50 shillings ya walichukua. Yani unauza inaishi, mpaka hata angewangesikia kuna 20 boba hizi kataa, they will still go. They haven't placed a value to their vote. Now, some of those people are at Bomas. Some of those people are negotiating. What do they love about this nation? And they bought their votes for 50 shillings. Unless and until 2027 has to be different. And that's why I sit on these shows, just to shape the thinking of Kenyans. Now we have to say 2027 will be different. Let us have politicians who feel they owe us because we did not take money from them. But as long as you took money from somebody, they don't owe you anything. They bought your vote, they bought their seat.
Yes.
They are there in a capacity to do whatever they want. And that's why we are moving in reverse at a very high speed. In fact, I've never seen a car reversing at such a high speed. We are reversing at 180 na side mirrors iliibiwa.